This video is going to walk you through the most basic steps of when you are on the flight. But if you're wanting to really level up your travel game, I do have 2 videos, 56 tips to be exact, of just flying tips and travel tips in general. And those videos will be linked below. Once you have boarded the plane, you will likely be holding your personal item and your carry-on item. The flight attendant will generally point you to the direction of your seat because sometimes if you're traveling internationally, you may be on one side or the other. If you're on a smaller plane, just follow everyone and you're gonna go straight down the middle. What you're gonna do first is find your seat. You're gonna take your carry-on item and you're gonna put it overhead. If you arrived early enough, there should be some space for you. If not, try to find a space fast because once people start passing you, it might be hard to get back to your seat because there's a limited amount of space in that aisle. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna put your personal item underneath the seat. For me, what I like to do to have good sanitary habits is I like to take a Clorox wipe or some kind of Purell wipe and I will just wipe down the seat. I'll wipe down the seat belt, the armrest, the buttons, the tray, and the entertainment area. Then you're gonna sit down, put your seatbelt on, and after everyone has boarded the plane, they're gonna go through a security briefing. So what they do for the security briefing is the flight attendants are gonna stand in the aisle and they're just gonna go through the security packet. Sometimes there's a little video that comes along, so if this is your first flight, I highly recommend you just listen to everything. During this time, just be sure to put your phone into airplane mode, and then normally at this time, they want all of your belongings just stowed away. All electronics like underneath, don't be holding anything in your lap because as you take off, they want your seat to be up and nothing to be really cluttered anywhere. You will then taxi on the runway, which basically means the plane is going to be in drive mode like a car, and it's just going to get itself ready to then take off. Then the plane is going to go really fast, and then you're going to be going up into the sky, and then you're going to feel some pressure in your ears. That is completely normal. What I like to do is I like to do this. Or you could chew some gum or some ginger chews and that helps with the pressure in your head. Once the plane is completely in the air and you have leveled off, then at this time, you're gonna watch for the seatbelt sign. So it'll go like this. And then once it does that, you can then take off your seatbelt and go pee or stand up for a little bit. Just don't be like running everywhere in the flight. And then a lot of times, depending on the flight and the airline and how long the flight is, sometimes you get snacks. You know, some people get angry because there's no snacks and there's no water or any drinks, but sometimes you may get some food and refreshments. A lot of long flights usually have some kind of in-flight entertainment, so it'll come with some headphones so you can watch some movies, but a lot of people have to download their own movies if it's a shorter flight. If you want to be extra comfortable while you're flying, you can use a travel pillow. I'll have my favorite linked down below, as well as a video right here that talks about one of my favorite pillows. And then also, if you kind of get antsy while you're sitting for a little while, also take a look at the video that looks like this. It's going to cover some stretches that you can do on a plane. If you are someone that does get motion sickness, I highly recommend you take a look into something called Dramamine, or you can look up some other like different kind of pressure points. You could put stuff behind your ears like little patches, and that can usually help with some motion sickness. Also, ginger ale and ginger chews can help as well. Another thing that helps with motion sickness is just making sure your belly has some food in it. So for me, in order to prevent motion sickness, I have to eat something kind of salty and very hearty, like a burger and fries, and I am golden. During the flight, the captain's gonna give you some updates here and there. He may also say a word like, oh, sorry folks, there's gonna be some turbulence. So turbulence is completely normal. It's basically where there's a little friction between the air and the land. So that's gonna make the plane go like, but it's completely normal. And just to calm any anxiety, if you have any regarding turbulence, I read this online and I thought it was really nice. So I'm gonna cite Google right here. Okay, verbatim, here it is. Turbulence is normal, it's part of the sky. Patrick Smith, a commercial pilot, told the Washington Post, every flight, every day encounters some form of rough air. For crews, by and large, we look at it as a comfort issue, not necessarily a safety issue. So there you go. Don't be worried about turbulence. I'd be more worried about the person next to me if they had flatulence. There have been some people that asked me if I could make a video regarding air travel anxiety, and I would love to make a video, so let me know if you have air travel anxiety, and then once I make the video, if you just comment, oh, give me the video, I'll either put it in the description box or try to reply to your comment with the video link. Once the flight comes to an end, the plane is now going to descend, and then you may get the pressure thing again, so go like this. All I'm doing is just putting my hands right here. I'm not putting it in my ears. We call it the TMJ for our physical therapy terms, body anatomy terms. So as the plane goes down, you may have a little bit of rockiness. They're gonna make you put your tray up, put your stuff away, and put your seat up. Then as the plane goes down, it's gonna get to the runway and it's gonna be like really loud, so don't worry about that. It's gonna land, the little wheels are gonna touch the floor, and some pilots are awesome where they land so smooth and I always go like this, like to myself. No one else is really applauding with me, but you know, I get really happy about it. Once the plane has come to a complete stop, the seatbelt signs are gonna turn back off, and then at that time you can unbuckle and stretch your legs and you have made your first flight, so congratulations. Then it's time to get off the plane. So most of the time, the front of the plane is gonna get out first. So just make sure you don't leave anything because it is really hard to get back to the airplane to try to find something that you lost. So because of the security reasons. So just try to bring everything with you. Once you get off the plane, you are now on the ground, woohoo! I highly recommend just going to the bathroom, go potty, go freshen up if you want. If you are traveling domestically, you can then head down to baggage claim where you can get your check-in bag if you brought one. If you have a layover, you are most likely dropped off at one of the gates and then you're going to be within the area where there's another gate. So repeat the first few parts of the video where you try to find your gate first, right? And then you can just chill, go to the bathroom, fill up your water bottle. There are some airports where they make you go through security again after getting off the plane, which is really interesting to me, but there have been some flights that did make us go through security. So remember, if you have water in your water bottle, you gotta finish all of that because there may not be a place to dump that. If you do have a layover, most of the time you would have gotten probably 2 boarding passes or however many layovers you have. So be sure to check the electronic sign again and check for where your next flight is gonna be. Some layovers are very short, where it's like 40 minutes or less, and some layovers are like 12 hours. So just be sure to give yourself plenty of time to find your gate and get yourself settled. If you are traveling internationally, you may need to go through something called immigration and customs. Immigration has to do with people and customs has to do with things. Depending on the country that you land in, sometimes you have to fill out paperwork when you're on the plane, sometimes you fill out paperwork once you get off the plane, and sometimes they make you do everything online. But basically, if you don't know what to do, just follow what everyone else is doing and follow where everyone else is going because they have to do the same thing that you have to do. So the first thing that you're gonna have to do is go to the immigration line and just check the signs on the ceiling or high up and it will point you to where you need to go, which is first immigration. So at this time, the line may be pretty long or it may not be long. If you are part of that country, you get to be in a different line. If you're not in that country, you have to stand in another line. Once you get to the front of the line or once you get closer, just be sure that you have your passport and your boarding pass, and then you're gonna go up to the window where the nice man or the lady is, and do not be overly friendly at this time. Don't be chatting up a storm. At this time, they just wanna push people in. So just answer questions. At this time, they're gonna also stamp your passport or they're gonna give you stickers. So if you have a passport that has a lot of that, then you know that you're a seasoned traveler. They also might take your picture and they might take your fingerprint as well. After you finish with immigration, you're gonna wanna head over to baggage claim. So there should be some signs that say baggage claim. Sometimes a flight attendant and pilot will tell you where to go for baggage claim, and other times you're just gonna have to read the electronic screen. Once you see like, oh, I was on flight 411 Singapore Air, it'll say baggage claim 6. So you're gonna head over to number 6 and then you wait with everyone else as your luggage comes down the carousel. If you don't see your luggage and everyone else has gotten theirs, just make sure you go to the front desk. There should be someone there in most airports, wherever the baggage claim is, and be sure to tell them the description of it, or if you have like a little tag that you were given from before. Sometimes when you check in, they're gonna give you a little stub that has the same number as your bag, so you wanna give that to the person if you're missing your bag. What I usually like to do, just in case they lose my bag, is I like to take a lot of pictures of what's in my bag, so if you ever have to claim all the stuff because you want to be reimbursed for it, I have the exact list of what was in my bag. Also, what I like to do with my luggage is put some kind of identifier on it. So I like to use like a ribbon and put that like on the handle so I know that this bag is mine. I also, just from experience, I now use Apple AirTags, so I can track my bag from my phone. So if you have seen my other videos, you know that I am all about AirTags. After you have collected your bags and you already went through immigration, what you're gonna do is something called customs. And customs is for things. So some countries, they just make you do like some kind of QR code on a kiosk and say, I'm not claiming to bring anything. No crazy weapons, no seeds to grow plants in your country, no meats of any sort. Be careful of lunch meat. Like if you're bringing a sandwich, you wanna make sure you eat that before you go through the customs line. Then some other countries, you can just slowly just start walking through. So at this time, don't be looking overly guilty, don't be looking overly friendly, just follow everyone else and just be like super chill on your face. But yeah, don't be bringing like all these crazy things. Remember, when in doubt, leave it out. But yes, basically customs is trying to see if you're trying to bring anything illegal into their country. And there you have it. You have made it on your first flight. Congratulations! The world is your oyster. Go have some fun. Alrighty, so if you want to see more tips for traveling, be sure to take a look at my travel playlist, which I'll link right here.